always doing it sunny side up. It's the hen. Fuck. Yo, what's going on, my friends? How you doing? It's Sunday night, and we have gathered to talk about the vintage decimation. It is wild. It is wild. But before we get into that, I just want to share a random thought that I just had where I was looking at hand sanitizer, and then I imagined a knockoff product called ham sanitizer. And you just order hand sanitizer, and instead you get a case of this, and you're like, wait, what am I supposed to do with this? Isn't even a thing. But I mean, I guess bootleg and hand sanitizer isn't a big business. Now, before we, I gotta have some of that root beer. Before we get into the nonsense, I'm gonna go ahead and share the live stream link in the Discord, as we do, because YouTube has been stinge bagging it with them notifications lately. So I gotta make sure that I am not forgetting to do it. And we almost didn't end up having this live stream here either, because the camera that I'm using is finicky, man. It was totally jorking out and going, nah, I don't want to connect. I had to disconnect every cable from my computer and everything, connect it all back up. Luckily, the techno god smiled on us and we were able to do this stream. Otherwise, we would have covered a different subject on a different channel and I would have just been using my phone. So we would have had a different kind of chill stream over on Hatcher tonight instead. Now, let's do the greetings. I've noticed there is a conversation in the chat going on about who was first. So allow my greetings to let you know who was first to arrive. All right? Greetings! Gossett, Jess, Superbacker, Mendoza, Briggs, Beef Puncher, Eng. Who else is in here? Felonious T, Yamagoro, Alaric, Cool Guy, Ned, Al, Benjamin, Margarine, Pierce, Error, Millmaster, Crumb, Macias, Heavy Metal. Who else? Shelton. What up, buddy? Dun, 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 dun. Moogle, I see you there. Hypnotic Spectre. Here to inject some randomness. 1 out of 1, what's up? Dacarus, Shinobi. Oh, the glorious Habalanero. Who else? What up? Kyger, Beano, Scrollkeeper, Avalanche, Beaumont, Shane, Cameron, Blade, Cardboard, Splendor. Yeah, I wasn't gonna quote any of that message that you sent me pre-stream, buddy, but I did pass it along and also have a chuckle at it at the same time. So thanks for that, man. Thanks for the laugh and the hookup. I tucked it away in my pocket. What up, skies? So I think that's everybody. Hello to all the people who said things. Hello to the assembled lurkers. And I suppose, actually, now that I upload all these to my stream archive, hello to you, viewer who's watching this live version, not live, which I would say feels weird, but it just turns it into a video. A sprawling video that never gets to the point. So we're going to take our time getting to the point. I'm going to do some sucking right now. Yamagoro, the jork is 100% on your end, dude. My stream is rock solid. It is rock solid. Uncircumcised, rock solid stream, bro. 100%. So that's on your end. That's on your end, or YouTube's just being goofy, but it's definitely not happening on my end. I know that I was responsible for previous jorking, but not tonight, bro. No, we're solid. We're solid. It's all good. It is all good. Well, not for you, obviously, but it's all good over here. So Basically, when it comes to Magic the Gathering, vintage has been like plummeting. Whoop, 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 whoop. Some cards dropping up to like 70% in the last. It's not like it just happened today, right? This has been something I had been meaning to talk about, but new information came to light that made it more interesting for me as a subject of discussion for this evening. So it's an ongoing kind of thing. You guys probably saw other people talking about it. There's other YouTube channels talking about it, bigger ones than me, obviously, as well as smaller ones than me, who are going all over about it, talking about the decimation, the craziness. You can also find it if you go and look at the like Magic Finance Reddits and stuff, or if you just go and look at price graphs, all of it, wherever it is you like to go for information. You want to go to MTG stocks, head on over there. You will see that it's very, very obvious what's going on. So low? Are you saying like low enough to start aggressively buying or low enough to sell off other assets to aggressively buy? Bro, I ain't offering anything in the way of financial advice, right? When it comes to all of this, right? I am just there's a car crash out on the highway, guys. It's crazy. It's burning. But like, I don't know what the long-term effects are going to be on the tarmac, like the asphalt of the road and everything like that, bro. So I'm not telling you to do nothing, right? I know how the internet works. If I say yes, and then you're like, oh, I didn't make $1 million, I'm going to sue his ball bag off. Bro, I ain't got $1 million. If you sue my balls off, you will only get my ball bag. So no, and I need that. I need that to live, bro. All right? So I'm not giving you no advice. You got to make your own decisions. You got to decide what to eat. You got to decide what pants to wear. And you got to decide what to buy and when. If you want somebody who has no problem, I guess, telling you what to grab, then go talk to my boy MTG Moxman. He'll tell you. He'll tell you all kinds of stuff to buy. Of course, it'll be ridiculous nonsense, like what brand of ill omen if you want an awful aura for 4 mana that will never do anything. So I don't know. Also, by the way, you can't like play tag sue me through Moxman because I mentioned him. I disavow everything about Moxman from his advice right to his beard. We're friends, but I don't endorse anything. This is the internet. This is the internet. I'm terrified of being sued and I don't have enough money. That's it. Tonight's stream has turned into a legal fundraiser. Guys, I'm raising funds to protect me from legally getting sued over financial advice in Magic the Gathering. Beaumont, you have no idea what jork is? That's the term that was invented here for when the stream is stuttering and jerking and all that kind of stuff. Just call it jorking. And it happens so frequently that it's become ingrained terminology. It just means a really choppy stream, right? Well, there's levels of jorkitude. There's levels. So yeah, man, I don't know. What level is low enough for you to buy cards at is what you gotta decide. You gotta choose. You gotta go. Is Magic gonna bounce? Is it gonna bounce back up? Who knows? Some people think it will. Some people think it won't. I have no idea. And if it does bounce, how much does it bounce back? When it comes to trying to make money off of buying like stuff from the secondary market or whatever, you're in a real crapshoot now, right? Because all the underlying logic of people investing in stuff before, like in the olden days, it was built on cycles where the tournament scene affected things, right? And actually, there is the possibility that standard cards might get a bit of a boost now that Wizards just announced today that they're going to start doing standard events again. There's like a 75K open. They're turning a bunch of events into standard events, so they're reestablishing what they had going on before. And they're like, and of course we're going to provide coverage. And it's like, yeah, you've realized. They were like, you know what? We don't want to spend that money, but that affects things like the desire for cards, and the desire for cards affects the secondary market of cards. And because Wizards has focused on putting all these reprint side sets into the main sets, you have a scenario where all of the value in the set monetarily is cannibalized by all of the special non-standard legal cards. And the reason for that is there's no reason to care about standard. Standard is an arena-only format right now because Wizards has given nobody a reason to play Standard when Standard used to be the entire portal for the game, right? So that's a subject for another day overall, but you know, whatever. I tend to roam from subject to subject. So basically, you've got this huge tilt downwards in the market, and I mean, if I'm going off of my own guesses here, I think it's going to persist for a while. I don't think that we're going to see these prices like jork down to nothing and then stay there, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them going even lower. Well, Laser, I mean, there's been multiple stages of the vintage crash, right? So being surprised it took this long, it's like the fire that Teferi was trapped in the Brothers' War, where it's like from the outside, it's like, oh, I can see it at normal speed, but inside it's actually like a very slow. We threw the blanket. It's gonna take years to settle. I don't know how many people here know the Brothers' War or what I'm referencing, so that might not be the most useful reference, but I like it, and that's all that needs. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters. What up, Beasley? How you doing? How you doing, buddy? So yeah, like Wizards of the Coast destabilized the reserve list. Like I was saying, you had investing cycles. Originally, the investing cycles were like, yo, you can get lands cheap at this point in the cycle, and you can sell them for higher in the cycle because people will just need them for events and tournaments and whatever based on the flow of Standard and Modern. And it was just an ongoing kind of thing, right? And then that shifted away, and then there was this big boom in like sealed box investing where people are like, yo, if I get a bunch of boxes and just sit on them, that's guaranteed money because the boxes just appreciate. People want to open them and enjoy the experience, so that's a solid thing to grab, right? But Wizards has tapped into every side of everything. Remastered sets equal, yo, I can get all the hits from your box, but spread across an entire block, so kind of more exciting, or at least dipping into the same pool, right? On top of that, the more people who are holding on to booster boxes, the less the strategy actually matters. You end up with the scenario where, yeah, everybody's got boxes. It's the same way that like children's toys are worth a bunch now because people are nostalgic for them. So they want the toys they had as a kid, but they didn't know to keep them as a kid. And there's no concept of this stuff will be worth stuff in the future. But now people keep all kinds of things and hoard them and all of it. And with the increased supply, that there's only going to be so much demand, right? Especially when you're nostalgia mining. So like once it gets sold into, there's nothing else you can sell into it. So all the money has been gleaned from it and it just pushes the price downward. So the same thing goes with the booster boxes. You just sit on them going, all right, well, they're not going to go up in value. And you got to take shipping cost and storage into account for all that stuff too. Now, reserve list investing is considered by some to be the last safe bastion of Magic investing. I don't share that belief. Wizards of the Coast screamed from the top of their lungs, Magic 30 is all about reprinting the reserve list. That's the crowning jewel in our celebration. The crowning jewel that they celebrated, they crowed not only to us as customers about, but literally to the shareholders. It was a huge announcement and a huge deal, right? So you have this scenario where they come out and like, bum, 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 and it's roundly rejected. There has never been a Magic product ever that's been rejected on this level. Wizards never had to stop selling a product 2 days in out of embarrassment, right? That has never happened. They've never put out a product and had big influencers refuse to actually advertise for it. They've never put out a new product, gave it away to people for free, and had those people record themselves destroying it in protest. Like, legitimately, they turned their customer base against them. And like, it's not actually that they went at the reserve list that did it, because if they had not just been the gigantic greed demons where they chortled to themselves, we can make them pay $1,000 US for these boosters. And then they had the grand awakening of, oh, wow, we totally misjudged this. Because not only did they not sell the stuff, they pushed tons and tons of people into proxying. Like, for real. They're just like, I know it. I know that for a fact. They pushed a ton of people into proxies because they wanted the message to be like, yo, 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 we didn't violate the reserve list, but we still get to sell you stuff from the reserve list and it's worth a bunch of money. We're going to hard case cards from it and send it to people. We're going to create this aura of money and mystique around it and go, it's this big deal, but we're not selling you the reserve list. It's just so you can experience what it's like to open those old boosters. That's all it is. It's like, really? Because you said there's a double incidence of dual lands. So dual lands show up twice as often. That wasn't what the original experience was about. And if you're drafting it, drafting some dual lands doesn't greatly increase the experience. Also, you made Sol Ring more common too, which definitely isn't for a draft experience. You did that because commander players like Sol Rings and dual lands. So they wanted to raid the reserve list and they wanted to tempt commander players. So they came out going, ha, can't sue us for violating the reserve list and we're going to sell it for $1,000 a pack. Wait, nobody's buying it? Wait, we're getting roasted everywhere? Wait, they're doing what? They're getting rid of their collections in record numbers and just proxying? No, the message isn't that you can proxy, guys. That's not the message at all. And it's like, but you just wanted to sell us gold-backed cards that aren't real official Magic cards at this insane price. Yeah, but not for you to treat like real cards. That's not the messaging you're supposed to take away from this. And it's like, well, maybe you should have put down the pipe and thought for a second. Because you guys are so high and out of your minds that you thought this was going to go another way. Of course, they thought they were going to literally get to go the open gaming license way with D&D too. And it's like, yo, you just have to give us money. So yeah, I mean, whatever. Magic 30 was a bold declaration of proxy, bro. Wizards of the Coast going, yeah, play with proxies. Play with proxies. Do it. Go for it, right? They didn't want that to be the message, but that was the message. And so people started selling their collections in record numbers. To the point where all these different game stores were just like, we're not paying cash anymore. We are just doing trade-ins. We are choking on cards. So trade-in value only. That's all we're doing. If you want like money, sorry, we're not buying anything. Also, we're not buying bulk rares at all. At all. Which is insane. It's insane, right? And then other places like, yeah, we're buying bulk rares for a nickel a throw now. Like, just seriously. So many places were like, we're not buying at all. The prices got really bad. And, I mean, people just kept selling. They just kept selling. Wizards destroyed people's faith in the reserve list. So I was looking over a post over on the finance Reddit where they were talking about surge foils and all that, and how Wizards all of a sudden has made surge foils super common compared to what they were before. So this was a post about wait, maybe I'm getting them mixed up. Forget about what post it was on. Let me just actually get to the details that are of interest. So Star City Games has been getting, like in June, got an influx of people again selling collections with a bunch of old school goodness. We're talking original era reserve list stuff, not little just like conch horns, but like power level cards, right? To the point where they bought so much stuff that they had to regulate how their buying was going, where it's like, okay, for part of the month we're buying in cash and then we're switching to credit. Like literally there's so many people just that keep selling into this, even with the lowered rates because of what's going on, because they've lost faith. Wizards said, we're coming for the reserve list. We absolutely are. That counterspell that they put out with the very weird announcement, that very weird announcement is 100% them just lining everything up for the next run at the reserve list. It's screamingly obvious. They picked the counterspell to be like, hey guys, check it out. It just happens to be a counterspell. We've done 40 different counterspells. Yeah, but you picked the one from Alpha. You picked the original counterspell. Oh, what a coincidence. Yeah, they also have like secret layer numbers down in the corner from January. You know, pretty much right after you announced Magic 30 was going to be coming out, came out at the end of the year. So the beginning of the next year is when you'd start to secret layer those cards. But I guess you kind of had to go, nobody's going to buy these secret layers. Nobody's going to buy secret layer of our playtest version of these cards. And I love how like, these are playtest versions of the cards like they look like. And it's like, no, actually playtest versions of these cards were little white slips of paper that had a cheap little photocopy printout on it. What these look like is no playtest cards you've ever made. You just shrunk the card down a little to give it an outer border to be like, look, it's not the card. And then you slap some foily crap on the text box for some reason. And then they just went, this is cool. It's not tournament legal. This is cool. Not tournament legal. This is cool. That was the announcement. Why is that there? I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's so they can point back at it later on and go, well, actually, we said that none of this counts as tournament legal. So when we announce these other things that have them, we don't really have to bring it up because we made an announcement. We covered our bases. We publicly stated it. And now we're going to take more runs at the reserve list. So, I mean, people selling off their cards because, hey, Wizards is going to tank this and print this and start inserting them all over the place and whatever. Special guest Mock Sapphire. Why not? Special guest playtest Mock Sapphire in Thunder Junction. Why not? Right? So it's a crazy scenario. They're not gonna. I don't see them swinging that hard with something like a Mox to start with, because why would you start at the top end of the scale? That would set everybody's alarm bells off. But I mean, they're coming after the reserve list. There's no question about it, and they're not gonna wait because they can't wait. Hasbro is in charge. Hasbro needs money like a junkie needs money. Wizards of the Coast is the only parent that they can steal from. Now, I know that Hasbro technically owns Wizards, but for real, in this analogy, Hasbro's like a junkie kid, and Wizards of the Coast is the only parent that has stuff worth stealing. So Hasbro's all, I need money to pay for my college, Dad. And yeah, for college, right. Dad, I need college money. So yeah, they got to get that cash, right? And they don't have years and years to do it because Hasbro has dictated that their profits are going to go up 50% in 3 years. And they only have one profitable company under them right now. Wizards of the Coast, pretty much, right? Maybe they're selling some Nerf guns and stuff. But when you look at their financials, Wizards of the Coast is where they get their money from. So Hasbro's not going to be like, oh, did they not like that? Well, I guess stop trying to milk the one last bastion that has a bunch of reprint value. We don't care that they don't like it. Try again. They said they were getting rid of the Master set, right? They did Ultimate Masters as the send-off, and they made it 30% more expensive because they said, we're giving it the send-off it deserves. After they said they only discontinue products are a failure. Like, they just lie. They just lie in this most blatantly insane way to us. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, yeah, the reserve list, they're coming for it. They're absolutely coming for it, man. Why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't, if I was in charge of Wizards of the Coast? Absolutely. I would absolutely be going after that, because the people who talk about suing, they probably don't have a leg to stand on. And is it actually even going to get into court? That's possible. They've been sued before, right? But the amount of money that's sitting there, whatever, roll with it. Hasbro needs the money. And here's the thing. I'm only going to be here for like another year or two. So I don't care what happens, right? That's what would happen if I was in charge of Wizards of the Coast. I'd be like, well, I'm not staying with this company forever. I'm moving on to something else. So all I need is for my numbers to look good. Get that reserve list going. I don't care how angry the customers are. I don't care how much it damages the brand. You know what I care about? The bottom line right now and my paycheck, right? That's what I would care about if I was in charge of the company, because that's the kind of person they put in charge of those companies. That's the only way you get there, right? So that's the reality. Somebody who doesn't care about you or your enjoyment wants that money, and they don't care what they have to do to get it. They are coming for it. They're working different angles. That counterspell announcement is one of the weirdest announcements that's ever been made. Like, they didn't do a special promo of this new treatment or anything. It was just quietly dropped in a tiny, tiny little article-lit on the main website. That's it. But I saw it for what it was. It's a declaration that they do fully intend to continue to come at the reserved list. There's no other way to interpret it. There is no other way to interpret that. 100%. 100%. So yeah, I mean, it's the nature of what's going on with Hasbro right now, and the corporate structure of Wizards of the Coast that makes anything other than raiding the reserved list an impossibility. If you look at how desperately they're flagellating reprints, they don't know what to do. They're like, yo, just keep slapping these side sets onto sets. And it's like, that gets too confusing. We'll just permanently make it a part of everything. Just have special guests. We'll just cram random cards in that actually aren't part of the set, but are just there to try and get people to buy the set. But it's a diminishing returns prospect where now the stream cuts out, right? Oh, it was Wizards agents. Wizards agents were sent to stop my stream. I think we're back though. I think we're good. So there was a jork. We had an official jork in the wilds. Okay. Oh, that did derail what I was saying. Now, where was I? Talking about the nature of the corporate structure, how it's an impossibility that they won't come for. Oh, yeah. The secondary market and diminishing returns. So for the longest time, the secondary market was organic, right? It was like Wizards of the Coast focused on making standard, and standard fed into other formats. And the prices of cards were mostly dictated by what formats is this being used in, and then to a smaller extent, certain cards that you didn't think were used in any format were actually huge in Commander and were bumping up the charts, right? But they had, like, there's just, people had a bunch of cards that were worth whatever, and that's like, there's a certain level of that where that's nice. Who doesn't like that? Who doesn't like their cards having value that you can like trade in or sell, right? Like, living the pipe dream of I should get more money than I spend on a hobby is crazy. But ultimately, what's funny? I was thinking to myself with the stream jorking out, I'm like, I don't have to worry about it jorking out because I'm recording the stream while we're streaming, but I forgot to hit the record button. So I guess I'm just going to have to download this stream from this channel afterwards now and upload it to the archive. I wonder how that'll affect the quality. That'll probably include the jorks too. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Nature of the beast when you don't remember to press the button to record. I'm not used to keeping the streams for posterity, right? But who knows? Maybe Wizards will send the Pinkertons to beat me with sand-filled hoses and I won't be able to stream and hang out with you guys anymore. So we'll need these to remember the good times, right? So the values of the cards were at what they were at because, basically just normal supply and demand. And then Wizards decided they wanted to get in on messing with reprint values by going, okay, we're going to hold reprints now for more expensive master sets where we charge like triple the price and these sets cost us like nothing to make because all the work to make these sets is already done. The cards are designed. We have most of the artwork. We can use artwork we have kicking around we already paid for. Like, we're good on a bunch of bases. So they went that way and then they went, okay, we've worked that angle, but like, how do we milk more out of the secondary market? And Secret Lair was born to milk money directly out of the secondary market with stuff like Bitter Blossom, where the Bitter Blossom Secret Lair is them going, here's one Bitter Blossom, 4 tokens that are made by it, pay us pretty much the price of a Bitter Blossom on the secondary market right now. And that sold like gangbusters, right? It did really well. And Wizards like, Secret Lair to the moon. They started like, they registered a website actually at one point for a Secret Lair subscription service. Cardboard Splendor Super Chat says they should own a proxy company and their blue middle layer printer provide luxury cardboard. That's the solution. You know what? that is actually a possibility for the future. Like that comes further down the line after secondary market has been completely drained of money, right? Because that's what's going on is they're deflating the entirety of the secondary market in a completely like impossible to rebuild way in any kind of reasonable amount of time, because the normal market built up over a lot of years, right? And Wizards has come in, and between the secret layers and all of the side sets and the master sets, they have reprinted like so many cards so many times. Like how many times have we seen Mana Crypt over, not Mana Crypt, Manifold? Mana Crypt. Yeah, Mana Crypt. Getting them twisted in my head. So how many times have we seen that over and over and over and over and over, right? Like they're hitting the same notes again and again. Commander Masters and Wilds of Eldraine has doubling season and other overlap as well. So you end up with a scenario where all of the value from the sets right now is being pulled over to the reprint side, and nothing is being valued from the standard side of it, like because standard doesn't matter. So you're making these sets for standard, but there's nothing to push the value of those cards because people don't care about buying them. The only card that matters rare wise, I mean, when we're talking about mythics, yeah, mythics are more in demand, but the only rare that matters from Wilds of Eldraine is the green druid guy. I can't remember his exact name right now, but he's the green adventure druid guy who gets bigger from you casting spells, right? That dude. He's like the only rare that matters, and he's like $3. And there's a couple of mythics that matter, but like overall, all of the value in the set is assigned to stuff like the doubling season. And so you don't have standard helping to like spread that out. So it's all in the reprints, but each time you reprint it, that naturally just cranks that value down, cranks that value down, cranks that value down. Now that's great for accessibility. It's awesome for people to have accessible Magic cards. I have always been on board with that. I loved Chronicles. I love when hard to get cards become super accessible. I understand some people have complaints about losing their value. That sucks, but at the same time, I like the accessibility of game pieces. So I don't want people to lose. I do understand that's a side effect of having more accessibility to cards. So there's obviously an in-between where you balance things to the right level. But you end up with this scenario where Wizards has milked the secondary market value of so many things, where it's just like, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. Print this, print Concordant Crossroads in a secret layer and in Dominaria, what is it, Dominaria Remastered? Or the names all blend together now, man, because it's just like, it's not even the same as other I don't know, whatever. That crazy Dominaria set that I think is called Dominaria Remastered, they've literally boiled my brain with the amount of different Magic products that exist now. So, oh man, I'm almost derailing myself here. So Wizards needs to keep up this pace of putting value into sets, right? Like that's what they're looking to do, but there's not enough left. You know, it's like trying to plant a forest, and then but you need that forest to grow like super fast. Like you let this first forest grow for 300 years, and now you're going to give these new saplings 6 months, and they need to be as big as these 300-year-old trees, right? Like that's not reality. That's not going to happen. It's impossible. So they run out of these targets, and even with their new insane ploy of forcing rotation into everything, that's the mandate now, by the way. Every format must rotate. They were like, we got rid of standard pretty much except for online. Now they're trying to bring it back. Looked at all the other formats, and they're like, they looked at standard and went, you don't matter to us anymore. You're just going to be on arena. We're going to bring in the fire design, and from now on, every set needs to have cards that are powerful enough to affect legacy, modern. Like, do you understand how bad that is for standard? They're bringing standard back, but they're bringing back an ugly standard environment they don't care about. They legitimately are just like, whatever, bro, it's on you. We've reduced the number of bannings. Bro, I saw the announcement talking about standard, and they're like, all right, guys, we extended standard to standard for 3 years, and we've done some bannings. And I went, wait, did I have a stroke? Because the last ban announcement I remember went something like this. We're unbanning 2 blue cards. As for the Orcish Bowmasters and the One Ring, they are totally fucking everything up, but we still want to sell One Ring and Bowmasters for the next 2 years, so there is no way on earth we're banning them. Suck our dicks. Enjoy this insane reverse language where normally when we ban cards like, oh, I don't know, Bank Buster or other colorless cards, we say almost the same thing word for word, where it's like, yo, it turns out that when we make powerful colorless cards, they actually can go into too many decks. And when they can go into too many decks, it warps the meta, you see. So because of that, we're banning this card. But with the One Ring, when you read the ban announcement, it says the reason they're not banning it is because there's more decks it can go into. It's already having a big impact. And your response is you can put it into more decks, bro? So they are just ramping stuff into every format. Commander is a constantly rotating format now. They give you no choice. They'll literally just print best ofs. Yo, how you like this arcane signet? Better than any talisman you'll ever have. You know, like, they just keep printing. Commander, gotta have it. Gotta have it. Here's a Black Lotus for Commander, right? Actually, a Black Lotus, depending on the deck you're playing, it's for the Jeweled Lotus. It's not something every Commander player wants. But what I'm saying is they can create just new, here you go, we're forcing rotation in. They're doing every modern set has to be more expensive because it's going into modern. You have to pay more for stuff like that just because Wizards wants the secondary market value to be higher on it. But we're reaching that threshold now where there's nothing left. The gas tank is fucking empty. You know how I know? Commander Masters. It's dog shit. Nobody's buying it, man. I'm being sent sales going, check it out. The store can't move these at a mega discount. They have hundreds and hundreds of them and nobody's buying because it's garbage. It's garbage. Wizards has predicated the entire thing purely on you can get value. You can get value. And the argument's always been like, think about the money cards you can get. They never said it explicitly, but it was the argument that a bunch of people would make for the Master said, the price is fine. Think about the valuable cards you can get. It's like, you can get those same cards in regular packs. Wizards just won't do that, right? That's the deal. That's the deal. Like, it's insane. It's the whole setup is just, it's crazy what they're doing. And people go, yeah, it's okay for this stuff to cost more because the cards in it cost more. But they don't really. Commander Masters is the most expensive Master set ever. Where is the value in it? For real. Where are the money cards? Wizards ran the fuck out. They ran the fuck out of money cards. The well is running dry. They're fucking shoving 70, 80 reprints in every set. Now we got the fucking special guests and stuff. Of course they have to come for the reserve list. They've sucked everybody else's neck dry. All the other serfs in the village are just pale stumblefucks. And the only healthy, brawny serf is Mr. Reserved List. I've been here for 30 years. And they're just sharpening their teeth and buttering his fucking neck, guys. That's what's going on. They're going to suck his neck hard. So yeah, the scenario right now is wild. It's wild. You've got a massive collapse with an unknown recovery, and the reserve list is a thing that Wizards is slavering over. But like 95% of the Magic population, they don't care about the reserve list. People ain't talking about that at the game store and around their kitchen table. Most people, right? Some of the old guard are, but a bunch of the old guard are selling out and packing up, right? They're gone. They left Dodge. They got out of Dodge, yo. So, yeah. It's wild times. It's wild times. Hold on. I'm going to top up my root beer here. I shall return. I'll be right back. returned. Ah. Got the devil in me. Oh, there we go. There we go. Exercise that demon. Need a hen network loop for beverage breaks. I'm gonna make a new intermission, man. But you know what? Here, I'll give you a station identification. Hatcher Entertainment Network. That's the hen. Bagok! There you go. There you go. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying, because I've been yammering a lot, and honestly, I've missed a bunch. So, hell, you expect them to go harder on third-party sets? I mean, they've already announced that they are, so your expectations are in alignment with reality. We've got a bunch of stuff coming. We've got like full-on Final Fantasy set next year. We've got all these. If you didn't see, I did a stream yesterday talking about the 7 newest Secret Lair. And just even there, you've got Princess Bride, you've got Doctor Who, you've got The Evil Dead. You have multiple universes beyond. And Wizards of the Coast has, like, I think it was Rosewater who said, we've only seen a fraction of what's coming. So, yeah, ultimately, things are going to that's going to ramp up, because they're trying to use it to bring in new people. But one of the problems is, when you bring in somebody for your Hello Kitty Magic Card Secret Lair, they'll be like, Hello Kitty, you so pretty. But then the next month, Wilds of Eldraine, nah, I don't care about no gingerbread men. Run as fast as you can. And then they'll just be like, yeah, I'm not playing this game no more. Like, for a lot of people who get in through Universes Beyond are getting in because they like that thing, not even automatically like card games or whatever. So I don't have any hard data, because we're even going to get that. But it appears that the lifespan of a normal Magic player is like a year and a half, 2 years. But Universe Beyonders can just bounce out after like a month and not care. So they'll get their little thing, and that's all they care about. And then they're like, what? I got to mix in things from other worlds? Now I want to play Doctor Who. I don't want to play whatever that is. No, I don't care about your Gilligan Island deck, bro. You just sit right there and I'll tell you a tale, okay? Millmaster, you think the fire is the end around the reserve list? Oh no, that's afterwards. That's what happens next, right? Like they would be extremely stupid. It would be really, really dumb to print better stuff than the reserve list stuff. Like, why print an Ancestral Recall that gives 4 cards, or a Black Lotus that gives 4 mana, before you sell the real ones? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna sell Ancestral. I'm gonna sell all the Moxes. Before you power creep past it, get the money for those. So yeah, why wouldn't you power creep past that? Who cares? Start making even more powerful cards. Magic is in mega power creep town now. And I don't remember how long ago I did it, but I did a video talking about how power creep was about to be accelerated to an insane degree. And I haven't been wrong about that at all. Power creep is wild, man. Like, for real. Standard, like, they're gonna start doing standard tournaments and broadcasting them and doing all that. It's gonna be interesting to watch what a quagmire it is to start with, especially because Wizards takes forever to implement changes. So if the way they're designing for standard is a problem because they were doing it based under different auspices, then yeah, it's going to take them a year and a half to adjust to that. Plus the fact that standard is now a 3-year format, not based on anything other than that they wanted to sell more boxes of stuff they already have sitting around. They were like, we need to change the rotation for another year because otherwise all these sets we have sitting around aren't still fresh. And we want to still sell them as standard sets. So just get out there and tell them standard lasts another year. And it's just like, and why isn't it like that on Arena? No reason. Just shut up. We don't want to. It's insane. Everything is so knee-jerk and random. Yeah, Fire Design has been terrible, right? They're just, like, there's so many things. They know they're doing it. They're just making pushed craziness and not caring. It makes a bunch of fun stuff for the cube, though. There is that. I do love insane cards for my cube. Jess, you thought Black Lotus sucked when you were young because you could only use it once? I saw a Mox Emerald in the display case and I was like, who would pay $15 for a forest? That was my infantile understanding of the game. It wasn't too long before I was slanging them Moxes and Lotus, all that goodness. All that goodness. Mad Cat, you're going to try out the most powerful vintage deck with 18 bucks worth of proxies? Well, that's a very affordable way to play, buddy. That's incredibly affordable. It's wild. It's wild to have been in the game for this long and see the way things are going, right? Like there's no way they're not coming for the reserve list. There's no way they're not. They already did. They just failed. It's like wolves coming for your chickens. It's like, well, you know what? We told those wolves, I don't like your attitude, wolves. We say no to you. And the wolves are like, oh, I respect you and your feelings and opinions. I definitely won't try and eat your chickens because that's definitely not like a biological imperative for me or anything, right? I definitely won't keep trying to eat your chickens. That's Wizards with the reserve list, right? They have to get that money. They have to get that money. Like one of them Twitch pool streamers that are like, I'll stream for 3 more minutes if you give me $8. And if you give me 12, then I'll turn around and do some squats. Oh, what a universe. What a universe. Hey, Pale Moogle, thanks for the super chat. Saying, just finished the Brothers War book. It was so good. It's like, the Brothers War is the start of my favorite part of Magic story history, right? Like, the Brothers War is a great story all in its own. And I wish that the storytelling was on that level now. Like, for real, Magic's books, their lore, it will never be on the level of the greats. Like, we're not talking Wheel of Time. We're not talking Song of Fire and Ice, like Lord of the Rings. None of that. But for mid-level fantasy, it's all right. And if you like Magic, then it's great. And the Brothers' War is like top shelf stuff, right? The propulsion of Urza from being a regular man into a planeswalker with like god level powers is very fascinating. The whole process from there, where he literally essentially has PTSD and he's a mad god who can't accept the death of his brother, so he tries to unmake Phyrexia, and through tinkering with time he causes untold problems, right? Like, he solves problems but makes more problems, and ultimately he's tragic. He's understandable. He's not one of these boring heroes where he's just portrayed as, check it out, I'm a paragon of virtue and I only do good. That's boring. That's boring. You need flaws. Not believing in yourself isn't really a flaw. It's most people's lives. Anybody who has like a normal functioning brain, who isn't like a moron with Dunning-Kruger, has some level of not believing in themselves. So while we can identify with that, it doesn't make your character interesting or unique. It makes them bland. You need to give them real failings, real flaws. Like, Kaya would be way more interesting as a character if they embraced the flaws that they portrayed her with instead of pretending like they don't exist. Kaya was like a murderous ghost. She just wants to slay ghosts, right? So she keeps trying to kill this ghost over and over and keeps getting stopped. And then when she finally gets to kill the ghost, like, she has this change of, before she was just trying to obliterate the ghost, but then the ghost is like, I miss my sons, and she's like, you'll see your sons again, closing his eyes. Shush, sweet child, we're like in that movie Saving Private Ryan. I'm gonna stab you, Saving Private Ryan, right in your chest, right? Like, hush now, child. And you just go, come on, man. Like, what is this? She was just going to murder that guy like it was nothing. You can't pretend like she cares now. Not only does she care, she's been changed. Will this change be evidenced in any story? Never. Never again. We'll show her slaughtering entire mansions full of ghosts and not caring. We'll show her ruthlessly chasing this one down. And if she had continued that way, and people were like, you should probably not just kill every ghost. You should probably give some of them a chance. And she's like, no. Apparitions shouldn't exist. they're supposed to be on the other side. That creates interesting tension because that's not always the right answer. Destroying every spirit isn't. But that would actually add some depth, and that would actually make some people uncomfortable and go, no. So we can't have that in a hero now. Nathan Super Chat says 131 folks here. Tried getting you a spin on Moxman Wheel this afternoon, but the app didn't like me. Well, that's all right, buddy. Just getting to see all the love that was shown to Moxman today was gratifying. I said that to him. I was like, man, you're doing great. You're doing great. You did a good live stream. You built a fucking nice fan base that loves you. It's great, man. It's nice to see. It is very pleasing to see. Like, we have become friends over the years, and so it's nice to see how well things are going, because he is putting in the effort. He's doing it right, and people are loving it. That stream was jumping, bro. And yeah, actually, Astrid, what you said to me was part of what made me go, yo, people love you, bro. They want to protect you, right? That's good. That's a good vibe. I like that. It's nice to see. It's heartening. It's heartening. Hypnotic says, people look for inspiration. It's almost shameful when you don't quite live up to their expectations. Try your best. Oh, you're getting deep, man. You normally say some random stuff here. What are you trying to shake the soul tonight? All right. Style, bro. The Gull and Greensleeves novels are awesome in how they portray planeswalker summoning and the gravity of what's actually going on with the planeswalkers, where essentially you basically go and find these different beings and force them against their will to participate in your battle. Some of them may participate willingly for what you're offering, treasure, power, whatever, but they don't have a choice either way, right? So you have this scenario where when a planeswalker loses, he's forced to abandon all of the things that he summoned up. He just has to flee. He can't heal them up. He can't take them with him. They're just lost to him. And so seeing the what's it called? Like the actual impact. The impact of what planeswalkers are doing it's gratifying on a story level, right? It's horrific on one level too. It makes it way more interesting than the new way where Wizards goes, well, actually, you're not summoning beings. You're creating a construct of a being you've seen. Now, that makes sense in terms of their expendable troops. You can make as many as you want, whatever. That's why you always have access to them. But it's way less interesting. It's way less flavorful. It takes away a bunch of depth. And so, for me, I've never accepted that. I always still, when I'm playing Magic and I'll think about it all, my mentality is that these are the real beings and it's not just some constructs that you've summoned up. Splendor, you're bitter. Pre-stream is not stream, right? Right? That's a special different thing. So, you know, you can consider yourself the premature Lord of the Board if you want. You got me to fucking talk to him, right? I relayed that shit. That should make you the opposite of bitter. Or if you're gonna be bitter, then be useful like that bitter goo that you put on the little nubs of your couch so your dog don't chew it. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Habanero, yeah, bro. Johann is a compelling villain. Johann from the Legend books is absolutely a compelling villain. What he does is pretty ruthless as well. He's cool, and he feels believable. You want believable characters that you can connect with, right? You don't want cardboard, stilted, boring crap. And unfortunately, that's what you get a lot of the time. At least in recent times. So, I'm hoping for a return to better storytelling. Mogul, it is fun thinking you're a planeswalker. Magic the Gathering is like the best card game ever. And one of the best games ever. I love it. I had so much fun playing Magic on Friday, bro. Like, I had such an awesome time playing with my cube. Ultimately, Wizards of the Coast, maybe making detrimental choices for the game, and things may be going poorly in that regard. But I am having a lot of fun with Magic. Yeah, see, there you go, Nicholas. If you have a progenitus, it feels way less exciting if it's a construct, right? Rather than the real like soul of Alara being that just impervious to all these different magics. It also, if you think about it, like you can think about the flavor behind, imagine the quest to gain control of progenitus. You can't lay magic upon him the same way you can other beings. So what does it take? Like a planeswalker, yo, protection from everything. Everything but me, you know? That's cool. That's cool. Evan, do I play chess? No, I played chess when I was a kid. I was part of a chess club when I was in like grade school, but chess ultimately, the game doesn't interest me. You know what I mean? I know that there's a ton of strategy that goes into it and there's innumerable ways to play it, but ultimately, I could just never get into it. And maybe part of that has to do with there's no underlying flavor to grab onto, really, right? Like the pieces are just like pawns are just boring little nubbers, and the queen is just a nubber with a little pointy hat, and then the king is just a nubber with a little gormp on his head, and then you got the cool little horses, they're pretty cool, and then you got the little castle rooks, and it's like, all right. And then you got the bishop where you can be like, look, he's got a little mouth, he's always frowning, he's really unhappy, like Andy Capp's wife. But ultimately, there's no flavor to it that I got. Like Magic pulled me in with the flavor. Personal Incarnation, just that card itself was enough to convince me to try the game because it was so cool. You have a wizard on a mountaintop and he's holding his hand up and magic light is all around him flowing down into this huge beefcake being with a giant sword. It's an avatar of his personal essence that he has summoned, right? And like Personal Incarnation sucks. It's 6 mana for a 6/6. You can redirect damage it would take to you. When it dies, you lose half your life. It's awful, right? But conceptually, it's amazing. It's just down there smashing people. I'm like, this is so cool. So that's what convinced me to check the game out. And then obviously I just got obsessed with it and never really stopped being obsessed with it. For like 30 years. It's kind of nutty. Nutty how it works, man. The different things that people get hooked into. Yeah, how does legendary make sense if it's a construct? Yeah, it does. It's whatever, right? There's just a restriction that you somehow can't make more unless you have magic that lets you make more to get around it, which everybody would just have. Like, I'll make 80 copies of this legendary dragon guy and just... No, you're only allowed to make one, says the rules of Magic Battle. You know, the restriction on stuff makes more sense when they're real, but meh. Not everything about the game rules also equals up to the flavor rules. It's not like I require some kind of perfect parody. You know, even those chess games where it was like battle chess, where the pieces would like attack each other, chess is all right. You know, it's all right. Your opponent can have a copy of the legend? Yup, that's true. In these copy days, you can. In the original rules, whoever got the legend out first had the legend out. You couldn't put it out if it was out already. So if I have Sir Chandelar out, you can't put your Sir Chandelar out. He sits in your hand. That's how that works. That was the very, very original way. Things are different now. Things are all corporate now. Gross. Is Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale the only land that doesn't tap for mana? No, there's tons. Tons. Like Maze of Ith, for example. That's a great one. And then there's like the stuff like Adventurer's Guildhouse and Cathedral of Sarah, the most awful lands in the game. They don't tap for mana and they like give your legends banned with other legends. They're like the worst. Literally the worst, bro. They're awful. Just awful. Godzilla is a rat squirrel tribal deck good, or are they better separate? I mean, I imagine they're going to be both very weakened because they're going to pull in two opposite directions, right? There's some overlap maybe with swarm yards, but I mean, do what makes you happy. But ultimately, it sounds like you'll just weaken your deck, right? Usually, you just want to focus on whichever tribe it is that you're keyed into most, right? Can't wrap your head around banding. Banding's awesome. It's not that complicated. Here's how it works. If you have a creature with banding, right? You can attack with it and another creature together. They act like a unit. If you block us, you got to block us together. On top of that, whoever's creature has banding, they choose how the damage is done to their dudes. So if I attack you, you got to block them as a group, and if you can block either of the two in the group, it is a little complicated, then you can block it. So if I attack you with a flyer and a non-flyer and a band, well, guess what? They're walking together. The flyer's got to get down on the ground and go, this sucks, bro. I like to fly. Shut up. We're together. We're friends. This is good. Shut up. So they band together, right? And they go in. And then if your opponent blocks them, then you choose where the damage goes between them. So you can put all the damage on one of your guys or whatever, right? And when it comes to attacking, you can band together as many dudes that have banding as you want and add one guy who doesn't have banding. So everybody who has banding is like, yo, bro, I love other banding guys. Let's hug. And they're all like, we'll all hug one guy who doesn't have banding. But that's it. You basically goes like this. Take your banding guy, take the guy you want to band with, and then slap on as many other guys with banding as you want onto that group. Send them in as one squad if you want to. But it works differently on defense, which is where it gets a little confusing. On defense, you can block with as many creatures as you want, and as long as one of those guys has banding out of all the creatures it's blocking, that's considered a band, and you decide how the damage is done across those creatures. So banding is more strong on defense than offense most of the time. Nathan says, if you want both rats and squirrels, it's more of a token matters deck than a rat or squirrel deck. Oh, if you want both of them, you don't even get the deck you want. Evan, you think I should stream on Twitch? I'd make extra money. Oh, you mean like a pool streamer where I'm like, whoa? I do technically have a Twitch account, and some people do their like Amazon Twitch Prime sub to it. I keep it as a backup in case there's a problem and I can't stream on YouTube, right? If there's like, oh, you pulled your dick out on stream and now you're not allowed to stream for a week or something like that, then I'd be like, I'm going to Twitch, guys. Sorry, I pulled my dick out on YouTube and we're going over to Twitch. So Twitch is like my backup lady for kissing in the streets when YouTube's mad at me, you know? I assume that, like you're saying, do extra streams over there? Or are you just trying to say that people on Twitch have lots of money and they like to throw it at handsome men in nice autumnal shirts? Habanero, you wanted a copy of Teleria even though it's a garbage land? I remember playing with Teleria just because there was almost no downside to it until like Thawing Glaciers came along. I was like, all right. Nathan, you tried watching some Twitch streams this weekend? Ugh. I like YouTube. I like streaming on YouTube. I would stream on Twitch, but I've always just streamt here. So I will continue to stream the dream here, even if all the money and beautiful Twitch ladies are over there waiting for me. I'll stay here with you dudes. Beetle says Twitch is the wizards of streaming platforms. That is not an endorsement. Yeah, Al, that's right. Arena is the book where you have Garth One Eye. That's right. He's Garth One Eye, and then the other books I was talking about is Gull and Green Sleeves. So if I said Garth and Green Sleeves, then I did misspeak at that point. Twitch has some nice auditory ear-licking ASMR. Like, Twitch is awesome for live streams. If you're like a 13-year-old boy who wants to just like cook the skin off your dick, where you're just like, bro, I am just gonna lightning speed my own wang to these Twitch ladies, because yeah, you know, that's what it is. You figure it out. I'm like, who is this for? And then you watch and you're just like, okay, it's for 13-year-old boys who aren't ready for they're not ready for the hub yet. They're not ready to head on over to the hub. So they need like the Playboy equivalent, where it's like she's not going to grab it and stretch it open and go, let me shove some ping pong balls in there. And they're going to be like, ah! Right? They need to dip their toes into the pool. So you go for Twitch pool streamers and stuff. And then a bunch of 13-year-olds beating their dicks like they owe money. And then like dudes who are living the dream of that girl being their girlfriend, and so they give her money like that, right? I mean, whatever you need to make it through the day, right? Adrian, what have I been up to recently? I've been playing a whole bunch of Chandelar, having fun with that. So got that magic action going on over on my live stream archive channel. I've been working on some stuff for the channels, and also just working on some stuff to make my life better. Planning to go to Toronto in November to go to Medieval Times. So things are going pretty good, man. Things are going pretty good. Old men, what did you just walk into? I mean, I can't see where you are, bro. I know I'm handsome, but I assume you probably walked into a pole or something. Don't worry. I walked into a post office box once when I was a teenager. There was this super hot chick across the street, and I was staring right at her like, whoa. And then I walked into a post office box, and it always hurts way more when you slam into something looking at a hot chick, and then she turns around and sees you and laughs. And it's like, you did this to me. Come rub your butt on my chest where it hurts. Make me feel better. Don't go. Don't go. Oh, I did that twice. I walked into a post office box, and one time I walked into a pole out front of a grocery store. You guys remember that? You remember being young and full of life, and you'd look and be like, whoa, look at that. And now I'm just like, whatever. Yeah, great. You look nice, but you'd probably be too much of a hassle to deal with, so why even try? It's not even worth it. You're just gonna be a nightmare, and I know it. I've learned my lesson. I'm not falling for it. Danica, do I think the signed Magic Baseball cards is Project Booster Fund becoming self-aware? I mean, I initially said that Wizards was getting desperate when they did the baseball card thing, right? And to a degree, I still feel that way. But I also realize that Secret Lair is where you're supposed to make the absurd stuff. Like, that's the one place the crazy's supposed to go now. They don't do Unfinity. So the baseball stuff is fine. I called it desperate because it's like, well, they're going to try anything and everything in their desperation to make money. But liking that baseball Secret Lair, like the idea of the info on the back and stuff, there's stuff I like about it, right? So, yeah, that's just, I mean, they're doing things like they did like a Mountain Goat Secret Lair with the Mountain Goat Bandit. It's a bunch of mountains. It's like they're all over the place. I'm curious to see how wacky it's going to get. The lady in charge of Secret Lair said, we want to give you more surprises, so we're just going to make more and more stuff. So, yeah, expect to have like just in anything and everything. Endless stuff. Nathan, what's the name of the live stream channel? You don't think you're subscribed? Oh, you know what? That's my bad. I'll get it for you. It's called Hatcher Streams, but I'll just grab you the link. I've only been uploading videos there for like not even 2 weeks now. So, but there's like, wow, how many streams are already up here? 16 streams. There's more than one a day. I'm a fiend. Okay. Anyways, let's get the actual link here. All right. I never remember to pin this at the beginning, but I should. Now I'm like, did I pick the right link? Hold on. Let me click on it to make sure. Yep. Okay, that's good. There we go. I'll pin that. There you go, buddy. What up, everyday? How you doing? Can you become a hot tub streamer while playing Commander? Why not? Why not? Yo, there's a lucrative business in the overlap between the lonely boy Twitch streamer, Instagram girls, and the Magic community. There's a bunch of them that have realized it's like, yo, if I portray myself as being into these hobbies, check it out. Check it out. I too tap the blue waterlands. I too use the blue waterlands. And come to my Twitter. Here's my holes. Take a look at my holes. It's such a crazy world, man. It's such a crazy world. Like, you got stuff like LinkedIn, but then you got like Twitter, where it's like people like, it's a public forum, but like you can just, like, if you want to just spread your cheeks and show the inside of your ass, you just can. Like, you just can. You can go and there. I don't even want to get into some of the crazy shit that I've seen on there, right? But like, Twitter is fucked, man. Isn't it named X now? Who calls it that? I'm not calling it that. No one will know what you're talking about. Why would anybody use that name? The only time it comes up is when someone says, everybody still calls it Twitter. It doesn't matter that Elon Musk is a fucking moron and spent a whole bunch of money because I assume he has a very fucking tiny penis and can't handle any kind of criticism or whatever. Like, I don't know what kind of sad fucking shit ultimately made him decide to buy Twitter. But it was hilarious and entertaining at first. And now it's just fucking empty and sad, right? So the whole, like, I changed the name to X doesn't mean anything. It's not that. It's Twitter. That's what everybody's going to call it, because nobody calls it fucking X. You say X, I'm going to say X gonna give it to you and start fucking singing DMX. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. Not knock, knock, open up the door, it's X, formerly known as Twitter. It's so funny how people acted like, oh my God, he got Twitter. It's going to change so much. It changed nothing. We're all going to this other website. Okay, see you tomorrow. Oh, it's X now. It's like, yeah, no, everything's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. You can continue to cry and complain as much as you like on here. It's have at it. Have at it. Twitter's the perfect place for it. It's the most toxic and sad place on the internet. It's amazing. It's amazing. Twitter is like a crazy experiment in what will certainly be illegal in the future. They won't legally be allowed to fucking make software like Twitter in the future. This shit will all be outlawed. They'll be like, look what it did to people. Look how many people this shit broke mentally. Like, oh God. Oh, it's just a big old science experiment, man. It's wild. It's wild. Juggling X isn't it's, I don't even think of it. It's like, it's a try-hard name, bro. It's a try-hard edge boy name. I picture some loser with like deep goth black eyeball makeup, right? And like shitty, spiky, greasy hair coming out from under a fucking toque. And he's got a dog collar on because of course he fucking does. You know what I mean? That's X. Oh, yeah. He's got some really revolutionary ideas. I'm sure he fucking does. I'm sure he does. I want to hear none of them. Your friend X is a fucking loser. I can tell from here. I don't need any of it. Right? That's what X is. It's try-hard loser bullshit. And that's why it's the name of fucking Twitter now. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. So yeah. Let's just call it Twitter. Call it Twitter, because that's what it is. That's what it is. Ralph, I don't know. I mean, that whole Reddit thing, I remember when all these Reddits were like, we're taking it dark. And it's like, what is this? And it's like, they're protesting something the company that's Reddit's doing. Okay. What does it do? It shuts down some bots or something. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're taking this thing dark and we're going to show them. And then they all come back saying, we had to come back because they told us we had to. They were going to take it away. They reminded us we have no power. Like, one of my favorite, like, internet words of this year that I've only seen, maybe it's from an earlier year for other people, but for me, is Jannies. It took me a while to figure it out. And it's what people call Redditor mods. They call them Jannies because they're like internet janitors. Real janitors serve an actual useful purpose. But like Jannies is used to be like, yo, these are people who like you're just like, you're a sad little Reddit mod power tripping kind of thing. So like, we're taking our Reddit down to show them a lesson. And then they're like, they showed us it's actually theirs. And they're basically just going to kick us out as mods and reopen it. So to hold on to the shred of anything we have in our lives, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back, guys. Back by popular acclaim. We would have kept the shutdown for 12 months if we could have, and we would have felt righteous. I feel my strength. I shut that down. It's like when the main Magic Reddit went down and they're like, we're taking it down, guys. And then fucking more and more people just started flooding into an alternate one. And it's like, you don't have an option. Like, you're fucking high on crack if you think, well, everyone's just going to stop talking about Magic on Reddit because we shut down our Reddit. No, dickheads. All you did was close an auditorium door. We're just going to go find another auditorium door because we want to talk about Magic. We don't actually care about your Reddit. There's literally nothing special about your Reddit. You're fucking wizards, dick suckers anyways, who will fucking remove anything they don't really fucking want there and will totally fucking go, oh, certain people just can't be posted here. Yeah, they're verboten 100%. We just won't even allow posts of their content. That place is fucking bullshit. So yeah, the Reddits that took themselves down, I was like, man, I would love to have this high an opinion of myself. Like, how the fuck do you get so full of yourself as a fucking internet moderator? I determine what comments get put in r/pickle juice. We're taking r/pickle juice down, guys. All right? We're sending Reddit a message. No, you won't take Picklebot from us. Solidarity. We're juicers. They can't get our pickles. So yeah, anyways, guys, we're opening it back up. We're back. Oh, did they bow down to your demands? No. So why are you back? Oh, they said that we couldn't be in charge of the pickle juice thing if we didn't. Oh, they were just going to reopen it, but we wouldn't be the ones in charge anymore. Oh, so you don't fucking actually care about what you were doing at all, and it's just about you. You don't have any fucking morals. It's not about taking a stance. You're not going to step down. No. You were just willing to inconvenience others to look like you're doing something so you can jerk off about how what you do fucking matters. That's not pathetic at all. That's not fucking sad and small and pointless, but you did it. You did it. Morgul says, janitors are always chill. I know, honestly, I thought Jannies was a hilarious word, but also there was a part of me going like, man, janitors fucking get a raw deal, bro. They have to deal with a bunch of shit. They keep things flowing well, and people disrespect them, and it's like, they do a fucking really useful service. Like, fuck off. I don't understand people who disrespect janitors and garbage men and stuff. It's like, you know they're doing a fucking genuinely useful job that a lot of people wouldn't want to do. So maybe don't be a fucking asshole to them and just let them do their job, right? But fuck them internet jannies, am I right? Am I right? Fuck you, you Reddit clowns. Habanero, yeah, exactly. You're saying the same thing I said, buddy. They're productive and useful. That's not fair. It's not fair. That's literally what I thought of when I saw it too. I was just like, that's a really funny way to disparage them, but it's also unfair to actual janitors because they're way more useful. Hell, is that not a movie joke thing? Are people actually dicks to janitors? Yeah, and people are dicks to people at like fast food restaurants and other places too. People don't understand that like everything works the way it does because everybody kind of agrees to be chill. That's why everything works. Everybody just kind of, if you're chill, I'm chill. Like some people don't get that. They don't understand that. Like when somebody lets you in traffic, you're not giving them the wave for you. You're giving them the wave for everybody else. And if you don't know what I mean by that, if somebody's nice and lets you in, you smile at them and give them the wave. That was a nice thing that they did, right? Now, you've already gotten what you were going to get out of the transaction. You don't need to give them a wave. You don't need to smile. You can just go in there. But if you do that, then this person can fucking feel pissed off and be like, fuck that guy. Why was I nice to him? Why would I do this for anybody else? So that's kind of how it all works. We all just kind of agree to be fucking chill and acknowledge these little niceties because it makes the person feel good in the moment for the nice thing they've done, which they deserve, and also then encourages further acts of that, which fucking bonds us all together and makes this shit fucking work, right? So, but yeah, people will just go, well, no, it's okay for me to be a dickhead right here. I'm going to act this way. It's like, no, like nobody has to serve you anywhere. Right? Just because you have money or whatever else, nobody has to serve you anywhere. Nobody owes you the right to be a dickhead to them just because you have money and want to be in a business. Nobody even has to run businesses for you. Nobody's legally required to run a grocery store so you can get food. Nobody's legally required to be there to like work so you can get your food. None of it. None of it. Nobody's required to legally set up restaurants or other shops for you to go to or computer shops or any of it. Any of it. It's all because we all agree to be a fucking part of it. We all agree to be a part of it. It's real simple. It's real simple. So yeah, like there are definitely people who go, it's okay, I can, no, fuck off, man. Like that person, it doesn't matter if you're fucking hungry and your food is later. This person didn't do anything to you. You need to relax. We're all here just trying to get through this bitch, okay? Life isn't just happening to you. It's happening to all of us together right now. Right now. Cosmic Seed says, bacon and beans, purple, you were missed at Magic 30. Well, thanks, Spuddy. I was there in spirit, ghostily drifting. Mailmaster, food's a human right. Tell it to the desert. Go out into the fucking desert and you tell the desert, I have a right to food. And the desert will be like, I have a right to your moisture. Let's find out who's correct. Let's find out who's correct. Does the desert have a right to all the moisture in your body? Or do you have the right to food? Sounds like it's all words. Sounds like it's all made up. Sounds like I said, we all just kind of agree to do it this way. There's no such thing as human rights. We all just agree to be fucking chill and it works out. I mean, yeah, we got laws and everything, but ultimately, like the concepts of rights, they're fun words, but they don't mean nothing. They don't mean nothing. So you can't make people work, right? Well, I guess you can if you're in a fucking communist country. Like everything's for everybody. Now we'll tell you what to do. Go to work. Here's your job. Here's what you do. And it's just like, well, this sounds awful. I think communism is craziness because it requires like a mentality that says, well, there's no way anybody will be greedy or corrupt. And it's like, oh, no, they definitely will be. Don't you understand how leadership works? A lot of people who are terrible leaders and wouldn't do a good job actively want to be leaders, whereas people who would make the best leaders don't want to be leaders and will reluctantly do it because they have to, because there's nobody suitable to do it. It's not, no, you know, like it's, you got to trust that the people that you're going to get hosed. And it's like, no, I know you'll do it right this time. But communism always just turns out to be people being like, look, I don't have anything and I think your things should be my things. And it's like, no, because then I'm fucked and you're not productive or useful. Your answer isn't to like try and fix or do anything. Your answer is to just take from people. And that's not going to work. That's not going to work, right? You're just like, I would just like things and not have to put in effort. And it's like, okay, well, I remember being a teenager too. You're going to have to enter the adult world, right? You got to enter the adult world now where that shit don't work because there's too many corrupt people up at the top and you'll just end up being forced into working for nothing and you won't have any control over your life really in the worst of those circumstances. And in the best, it's still pretty grim. Pretty grim. There is no best form of government, but there are ones that work better than others under the current fucking setup where mankind is what it is. We're just a bunch of animals that where our fucking bodies and minds aren't, they're not ready for this world. They're not ready for this world. Technology is crazy. We only have had like TV and movie screens for like 100 years. We've had the internet for like 25 years. And the internet at the beginning wasn't like the internet now. And there are people who are like just being raised on this. Right? Like, they're being raised on this, man. I can't even imagine. Like, the kids have phones. Kids just have cell phones with internet access. I don't, what? What? Millmaster, you want to be chipped like a dog? You want to have like a microchip in your arm so that we can get a 5% discount on insurance on you, buddy? Get you spayed and neutered? Or do you want a microchip in your brain so that then the orbital mind control lasers can make you dance to Michael Jackson's Moonwalker so people can play you like an old Genesis game? What is it? What is it? You're not ready to see robot cops roaming the street? I am. RoboCop will save me. He'll shoot the creeps and he'll save me. I'm ready for it. Habanero says, I hope when I die, my corpse gets thrown into a desert. The desert definitely deserves my moisture. That's funny. Style, you want Phyrexian oil. All right. No, you don't. Nobody would want that. Nobody would want that. Oh, so yeah, it's a crazy time to be alive. It's a crazy time to be alive. Fundamentally unprepared for the world that we are accelerating into. Just. Oh, the insanity, man. The insanity. I can't wait to see where ridiculousness is coming, right? What kind of wild AI nonsense are we gonna be seeing, right? What kind of weirdness do we have going on? Is Millmaster gonna get his brain chipped, and then we'll have like the Lawnmower Man, where the AI jumps in Millmaster's brain and makes him dance to Moonwalker like the old Genesis game? Nathan says, "Don't say dog. Say, here, doggy, doggy, want to go for a walk." Want to go for a walk? Yeah, there you go. Get the dogs amped up. Nathan trying to sabotage anyone with a dog. Lucky I don't have a squeak toy here. Vlad says, in 10 years, you'll be able to stick your wiener in your phone. What a world. What a world. Saw some dude having AI give him his daily pep talk. Seemed like a good use of billion-dollar tech. Honestly, I thought to myself recently, I haven't messed around with AI yet, but I'm missing a golden opportunity. I should be asking AI insane questions. Like I have a really fucked up imagination. So I should be mucking about with AI and just seeing what insane nonsense I get back because it could be genuinely entertaining. I don't know. I don't know. I've done like, I guess we used AI to make like some random background artwork, but I haven't messed around with speaking with AI. I know you get like kind of bland whatever responses, but I imagine that's usually when you talk to it in a more bland manner. I want to know what happens if you throw curveballs at it. Will it actually generate interesting responses, or will it just be boring nonsense regardless, right? I guess part of me thinks it's just going to be boring nonsense because I haven't rushed to do it. And I don't know. Technology doesn't seem like it's like crazy good in terms of generating conversation. I'm pretty sure that I've started to get AI scam emails or spam emails trying to advertise with my channel, where one offered, "We very much like your channel. We want to offer collaboration with you. We offer commission to start with. And then going forwards, we offer commission plus commission." Just, and I was like, commission plus commission, you say? Now you have my attention. See, all this gibberish. I didn't think you were serious when you said commission. But commission plus commission? How can I say no? So yeah, it's a crazy new digital world, my friends, and I'm curious to see what's coming. What up, Billy? How you doing, buddy? All right. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out. I wish that I had remembered to record this, but it's time for me to get going. I'll see about downloading this and then re-uploading it over on the stream archive. So that's linked at the top of the chat if you want to see any of the previous streams, or if you missed part of this one and you want to check it out. Thanks for coming and hanging out, but the chainsaw man cometh, so I gots to go.